Dear students, please do hurry and join our live class so we can start the live session. Please do join our live so that we can start our live session. Before we starting the live, one gentle reminder to the board students, you may visit our website edwins.in and purchase our premium version at a very low cost, where you can get the study materials, unlimited mock test, and video recorded classes. This will definitely enhance your preparation. So please do visit right now. Hello dear students, welcome to the another live of Edwins. And in our live classes, we will discuss the response and chemical control in animals, especially the hormones. In previous classes, we have discussed about the tropism or movement of the plant. In today's class, we will discuss about the animals, especially in the human. So, in response to chemical control in animals, one term, that is the glands. What is glands? Glands is some body parts where the secretion takes place. Okay, so in our body there are three types of gland present in our body. Number one is exocrine, number two is endocrine, and number three is mix. So what is exocrine, what is endocrine, and what is mixed gland? Exocrine gland are those called the duct gland. What is duct gland? They secrete their secretion through the duct. The endocrine glands are the ductless glands. What is ductless? That is, endocrine glands secrete their secretion directly into the body fluid. So what is the body fluid in our body? That is blood. Okay. Next one is the mix. What is mix? It secrete both exocrine and endocrine secretion. So one common example, that is pancreas. Okay. In today's class, we will discuss about the endocrine glands. So the endocrine glands present in our body mainly are 6 types, which are enlisted here. These are the 6 types of endocrine glands present in our body. That is, number 1 is hypothalamus, number 2 is pituitary, number 3 is thyroid gland, number 4 is pancreas, number 5 adrenal gland, and number 6 is the gonads, which is specialized for the male and female. For the male, it is testis, and for the female, this is ovary. Beside these glands, another also 2 glands are present in our body but not included in your syllabus. That is the thymus and parathyroid gland, which we'll discuss in the last of this session. So number one is hypothalamus. So hypothalamus, what is the location? Location is the forebrain. Okay, forebrain of our body. What is the function of hypothalamus? Hypothalamus is known as supracommandar gland or the master of master gland. Why? Because hypothalamus regulate all the hormone secretion in our body. It specially control the secretion of anterior pituitary. Okay, special. Also, the function, it secrete two types of hormones, that is specially ADH, antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin. To the special hormone which is stored in posterior pituitary. Okay, so these are the two hormones specially secrete from the hypothalamus and stored in the posterior pituitary. Another hormones like adrenocorticotropic releasing hormone. Okay, next one is the TRH. Next one is the GnRH. Next one is the PRH and GIH. What are they? This is adrenocorticotropic releasing hormone. This is the tropic releasing hormone. This is gonadotropin releasing hormone. This is the prolactin releasing hormone, and this is gonad inhibiting hormone. These hormones are secreted from the hypothalamus, also additionally the ADH and oxytocin. Okay, so next one is the hypothalamus. We complete the hypothalamus. Next one is the pituitary. So pituitary is the master gland of our body. It is known as the master gland of our body. Pituitary gland. What is the location? Location, sella turcica of the sphenoid bone. This is located base of the brain. Okay, this is the location of the pituitary gland. It has two parts, that is anterior pituitary another one is the posterior pituitary. Okay, anterior pituitary is known as adenophysis, adenohypophysis, and posterior pituitary is known as neurohypophysis. Okay, And pituitary gland, also known as hypophyseal gland. Okay, pituitary gland have two lobes, anterior lobe or anterior pituitary, which is known as adenophysis, and posterior lobe, that is known as neurohypophysis. Majorly, the hormones secreted from the anterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary only store the releasing hormones, that is released from the hypothalamus, ADH and oxytocin. Okay, they are stored these hormones and released from the posterior pituitary. So anterior pituitary release hormones like hormones. Number 1, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay, adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is secreted from the basophil cells. Number 2, this is secreted from the basophil cells and it is polypeptide in nature. There are 39 amino acids present in the ACTH. Okay, this is the characteristics of ACTH. So what is the function of ACTH? ACTH mainly regulate the secretion of adrenal cortex. Okay, this is regulate the secretion of the adrenal cortex. What? This adrenal gland. This is the main function of ACTH. Next hormone of the anterior pituitary is the somatotropic hormone or growth hormone. Next one is the STH or GH. What? Somatotropic hormone or growth hormone. Okay, so this is released from the acidophil cells of the anterior pituitary. Okay, and this is also polypeptide in nature. Okay, about 131 amino acids present in the STH. So what is the function of STH or GH? What is the function? Number 1, it helps in skeletal and muscle growth. Okay, number 2, it promote the metabolism of carbohydrate and fat. Okay. Number 3, it help in synthesis of protein. Why? Because for the bodybuilding, protein is the essential substance for the muscle growth. So it helps in synthesis of protein. Number 4, in case of female, it helps the development of mammary gland. Mammary gland. Okay. These are the major functions of growth hormone or somatotropic hormone. Next one is the thyroid stimulating hormone, that is STH. Sorry, TSH. Next one is the TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, it is secreted from the basophil cells and it is glycoprotein in nature. Okay, this is glycoprotein in nature. The function of TSH or thyroid stimulating hormone is number 1 is regulate the growth of thyroid gland. Of course, from the name that thyroid stimulating hormone, of course, it regulates the growth of thyroid gland. And secondly, regulate the secretion of thyroxine that is released from the thyroid gland, the hormone secreted from the thyroid gland. So from the anterior pituitary release the TSH or thyroid stimulating hormone, which is secreted from the basophil cells, and it is glycoprotein in nature. The function is to regulate the growth of the thyroid gland and also regulate the secretion of the thyroid gland hormone, that is thyroxine. Okay. Next one is the gonadotropin releasing hormone or gonadotropins, that is GTH. Gonadotropins, tropin hormone, or this is also known as gonadotropins. Okay, this is the gonadotropins. This is mainly are 3 types of gonadotropins released from the anterior pituitary. Number 1 is the FSH or follicle stimulating hormone. Number 2 is the LH, that is luteinizing hormone. Number 3 is the LTH, that is leutropic hormone. Okay, this is also known as prolactin. Okay, so these are the 3 types of hormones under the gonadotropins. So what are the function of these 3 hormones? First, the FSH of course, from the name we can predict that gonadotropins releasing hormone means it regulates the secretion of the gonads or male or female reproductive glands. So in case of male, it promotes the Sertoli cell to release or to produce sperm or male gametes. Number 2, it promote the interstitial cell of Leydig to release male reproductive hormone or testosterone. Okay, these are the main 2 functions of follicle stimulating hormone in male. In case of female, it promote the ovary to release the Graafian follicle. What is Graafian follicle? Graafian follicle nothing but the unmatured egg. Okay. Secondly, it promotes the maturation of the Graafian follicle. Okay. Number 3, it helps in the formation of corpus luteum. What is corpus luteum? It will be elaborately discussed in the next chapter, but for this time, corpus luteum is the rest part of Graafian follicle after ovulation. The Graafian follicle is the unmatured egg. When egg is released, the rest part of the Graafian follicle is known as corpus luteum. So these are the functions of the follicle stimulating hormone in case of male and female. Okay. So next one is the luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone also functions differently in case of male and female. So LH in case of male it promote the Leydig cell to release testosterone and help to showing secondary sexual character in male. Okay, so this is the function of luteinizing hormone in case of male. In case of female, it promotes the corpus luteum to release progesterone, okay, and help the Graafian follicle to release estrogen. Also help to develop the secondary sexual character in female. Okay, these are the functions of luteinizing hormone. Okay, next one is the LTH, which mainly produce in female and help LTH. This is only in female, help in the production of milk after parturition or baby birth. Okay, first. Secondly, also it helps in development of mammary gland. Okay, so these are the two functions of LTH. Okay, and this is all about the anterior pituitary. If I sum up the hormones, that is first of all the ACTH or adrenocorticotropic hormone, number 2H STH or somatotropic hormone or growth hormone, number 3H thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH, number 4 is GTH, that is gonadotropic hormone. Okay, these are the four major hormones secreted from the anterior pituitary, and from the posterior pituitary only secrete the ADH and oxytocin. One thing you have to remember, that posterior pituitary do not produce this hormone. They only store and release. Okay, these hormones are actually produced in hypothalamus. Okay, so these are the all about of the pituitary glands. So that's why from the name we can say that is it regulate all the hormonal glands in our body and their secretion. So this is called the master gland of our body. So next one is the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Location, of course, location, our neck region, beside, more specifically, two sides of the esophagus. Okay, this thyroid gland secrete the hormone thyroxine. Okay, this is the hormone, that is thyroxine. Thyroxine function metabolism of the body and regulate the BMR. What is the full form of BMR? Basal metabolic rate. Thyroid gland or secretion of thyroxine is regulated by one essential component of our food, that is iodine. Okay, this iodine is regulate the secretion of thyroxine. The less or deficiency of iodine cause the enlargement of the thyroid glands. Okay, and this condition is known as goiter. This is known as simple goiter. Okay, this is known as simple goiter, the enlargement of the thyroid gland due to deficiency of the iodine. One more condition, that is excess secretion of thyroxine caused also the enlargement of thyroid gland. This condition is known as exothalamic goiter. Okay, so you have to remember that what is simple goiter and what is exothalamic goiter. Simple goiter is due to the deficiency of iodine. Less secretion of thyroxine is known as simple goiter, and excess secretion of thyroxine. Both symptoms are same, but the condition is different. One is less secretion of thyroxine, that is less secretion, and this is excess secretion of thyroxine cause the exothalamic goiter. Okay, this is the function of thyroid gland and its secretion or secreted hormone. Next one is the pancreas. Pancreas, I have previously mentioned that pancreas is the mixed gland of our body. We know that pancreas release what? The digestive juices. Also, pancreas have specialized cell that is called islets of Langerhans. Okay, these cells are released hormones. Pancreas location where? Behind the stomach. Okay, and these islets of Langerhans contain two types of cells. One is alpha cell, another one is beta cell. Okay, so this alpha cell release hormone named as glucagon. Okay, and these beta cells release hormone insulin. These are the two hormones released from the pancreas. So what is the function of insulin and function of glucagon? Function is the insulin regulate the blood glucose level. Okay, regulate the blood glucose level. How? By the process of glycogenesis. What is glycogenesis? When the blood glucose level is high, the insulin released, and here insulin released. This insulin stored this blood glucose in the form of glycogen, stored in the form of glycogen, and store where? In the liver and the muscle cell, muscle tissue or muscle cells. Okay, this process is called glycogenesis, breakdown of glucose by the insulin and stored it in the form of glycogen in liver or muscle tissue. This is known as glycogenesis. This is the function of the insulin. What is the function of glucagon then? Glucagon function is the reverse of the insulin. It breaks down the stored glycogen or the fat or the proteins into glucose level. So it also regulates the blood glucose level. How? By the process of neoglucogenesis. Okay, by the process of neoglucogenesis. What is the condition? When blood glucose level is low, then it break down the stored glycogen. Also the other carbohydrates like fructose, sucrose, and fats, okay, into glucose. And this glucose is released to the directly to the blood and increase the blood glucose level. So this is the function of the glucagon. The function of insulin and glucagon are reversed to each other. So this is the function of the pancreas. The next one is the adrenal gland. We know the adrenal gland located just upper side of the kidney or just upon the kidney. If here is the kidney, the adrenal gland is located like this. Okay, this is adrenal gland. Okay, so adrenal gland location upon the kidney. Okay, what is the releasing hormone? Before that, adrenal gland have two parts, that is cortex and another one is medulla. Okay, cortex release corticoid. What corticoid? Like glucocorticoid. Number 2 is mineralocorticoid. Number 3, the sex steroids. Okay, these are the three types of hormones released from the cortex region. And medulla release two types of hormone, that is adrenaline and noradrenaline. This is also known as epinephrine or norepinephrine. So from these names, that is glucocorticoid, this cortex hormone specially helps in the metabolism. What metabolism? Glucocorticoid helps the glucose metabolism. Mineralocorticoid helps in the minerals. Okay, minerals, and sex steroids are for the development of the sex organs. Okay, these are the functions of cortex releasing hormones, that is corticoids. Basically metabolism of glucose, minerals. Okay, next one is the adrenaline or noradrenaline. Specifically, these are known as emergency hormone. Why emergency hormone? Because they only released when our physical state on an emergency or any stress condition like fear or any emotional stress. For this, these hormones are released for the betterment or the prepare our body for this, for overcome these conditions. So they mainly help the function of adrenaline or noradrenaline, that is functions of adrenaline or noradrenaline, that is it increase the heartbeat. Why? Because increasing the heartbeat, the blood flow will be increases, so that more ATP or more energy can be produced. Number 2, it constrict the blood vessels. Constriction of the blood vessels resulting the blood flow in pressure. Okay, so when the blood flow in pressure, more blood will reach into our muscle cells, like a dog barking behind us or behind me. So I can run. So the increase of heartbeat resulting the increase of blood circulation and constriction of the blood vessels helps to reaching the blood into the muscle cells so that I can run better. So these are the functions of adrenal glands secretion, that is cortex and cortex. From the cortex release the corticoids, and from the medulla, that is adrenaline and noradrenaline. Next one is the gonads. These are specified in male and female. So in case of male, the gland is testis, and in case of female, the gland is ovary. Okay, so from the testis, it releases hormone. Testis, of course, location in the scrotum. Okay, the ovary in the abdominal cavity. Or in the pelvic cavity. Okay, so testis release the hormone testosterone. Okay, this is the male reproductive hormone. So what is the function of testosterone? First, it helps the production of sperm. Number two, it helps to develop the secondary sexual character in male. What characters? Helps in muscle building or growth of hair. Hair, especially the facial hair. Okay, so this is the function of the testosterone in male. In case of female, they release mainly two types of hormones. What are they? They are, number one is estrogen, and another one is progesterone. Okay, so estrogen is released from the Graafian follicle. Okay, of course from the ovary, because ovary release the Graafian follicle, and from the Graafian follicle estrogen is released, and progesterone is released from the corpus luteum. Okay, previously I have already told that corpus luteum is the resting part after the egg release from the Graafian follicle. The resting part of the Graafian follicle is known as corpus luteum. So what is the function of the estrogen? Estrogen mainly function of estrogen is to release the egg. Okay. Number 2, help in the maturation of egg. Number 3 is the help in the development of female secondary sexual characters. Okay. Number 4 is helps in the development of corpus luteum. Also, it helps the uterus to sensitive in hormone oxytocin. Okay, which is released from the hypothalamus and stored in the posterior pituitary. Oxytocin is a loving hormone or the anti-stress hormone, which is good for our body. So these are the functions of the estrogen. And the progesterone in case of function of progesterone, progesterone is number 1, of course, make the uterine wall with or blood bed. Number 2, help in implantation. Okay. Number 3, it helps in development of mammary gland. Okay. Also promote the function of prolactin after childbirth. Okay, so it making the uterine wall for the pregnancy, or that is next function, that is helping implantation of the zygote and development of the mammary gland, and help to promote the functions of prolactin, that is milk production and development of mammary gland. So these are the functions of the progesterone. Okay, so these are the main hormones or hormonal glands in our body and their functions. So I have told that hormones, hormones, hormones. Then what is hormone? Hormone is the, then what is hormone? Hormone is the chemical substance that released from a specific gland into the bloodstream. Of course, I am talking about the human bloodstream and reach or action only in the target site or region. After the function, it will destroy. Okay, from this definition we can find out the characteristics of the hormone. First one, it is a chemical substance, number one. Number two, it released from a specific gland, that are endocrine gland. Number three, it directly released to the bloodstream. Directly. Okay, directly released to the bloodstream. So this is not carried through any duct. Number three. Number four, it only action into the target site. Number four. Number five, it will destroy after its function. This is the number five. So these are the five characteristics, and additionally, sixth one is it need in a very low quantity. Okay, these are the six major characteristics of hormones. Okay, so we talk about the hormones, their release, their glands. So one question is that hormones are always released in our body, or the glands, hormonal glands, always release the hormones? No. So they have a feedback mechanism. This is called the regulation of hormonal secretion is known as feedback mechanism. Okay. So feedback mechanism So feedback mechanism, if I take an example that hypothalamus release hormone to regulate the pituitary, that is TRH, thyrotropin hormone, pituitary gland, to release the thyroid stimulating hormone to stimulate the thyroid gland to release the thyroxine. Okay, so this is the positive feedback. What? That hypothalamus stimulate the thyroid gland, pituitary gland for the release of thyroid stimulating hormone. This thyroid stimulating hormone stimulate the thyroid gland to release the thyroxine. So this is totally a positive feedback. Okay. What happens? That is, this thyroxine released to the blood, and the blood thyroxine level is increases. Okay, blood thyroxine level is increases. So when the blood thyroxine level is increases, this will stimulate or message to the first thyroid gland to stop the secretion of the thyroxine. This is one negative feedback. Again, this blood thyroxine level or high blood thyroxine level stimulate the pituitary to stop the release of thyroid stimulating hormone. If the thyroid stimulating hormone is blocked or secretion is stopped, then thyroid gland automatically stop the secretion of thyroxine. Or this is also help stimulate or message to the hypothalamus to stop the releasing of thyrotropin hormones. So this is the negative loop or negative feedback, and this is the positive feedback. When the thyroid stimulating hormone or the thyrotropin releasing hormone or the thyroxine secretion is stopped, then the blood glucose level again drop down. Again drop down. When the blood glucose level is dropped down, then it will message first to the hypothalamus to release the thyrotropin releasing hormone, or to the pituitary to release the thyroid stimulating hormone, or the thyroid gland to release thyroxine. So these are the positive and negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so this is very important for your exam. That is, what is positive feedback or what is the feedback mechanism in hormonal regulation. So we are jumped to the last session, that is the disease caused by the hormonal secretion, that is less secretion or excess secretion in our body. So first one is the dwarfism. Dwarfism. What is short height? Okay, so dwarfism due to short height caused due to the deficiency of STH or GH. Okay, somatotropin releasing hormone or growth hormone. Number two is we have already previously discussed, that is goiter. That is two types of goiter: simple goiter and exothalamic goiter. Okay, these are the two types of goiter. This is the excess secretion of less secretion of thyroxine, and this is the excess secretion of thyroxine. Okay, this. Number 3 is the diabetes. Okay, so there are two types of diabetes. First, we will study that diabetes mellitus. What is diabetes mellitus? When the blood glucose level is increases, then presence of glucose in urine. This condition is known as diabetes mellitus. Why the diabetes mellitus happens, or what is the reason? The deficiency of insulin. Okay. Number 4 is the diabetes insipidus. What is diabetes insipidus? What is the reason? Reason, the deficiency of ADH. What is the full form of ADH? Antidiuretic hormone, which regulate the releasing of urine. This is the antidiuretic hormone. Okay, so in diabetes insipidus, what is the symptom? Symptom is passing of urine frequently. Okay, so these are the major diseases caused by the less or excess secretion of hormones in human body. So that's all for the today's live class. If you like to get more such live classes and also recorded informative videos, you may subscribe our YouTube channel Edwins. Also, please do follow, like and comment in our Facebook page Edwins. Thank you.